In the news this week, gender question may be axed from the next census, warnings that new relationships education will stigmatise traditional marriage, and a mother's successful petition to the Welsh Government gives hope to premature babies. Hello. The question, what is your sex, could be scrapped from the next census for fear of offending transsexual and so-called non-binary people. A report by the Office for National Statistics suggests that asking people to declare their sex is irrelevant, unacceptable and intrusive, particularly to trans participants. The document goes on to say that meeting the needs of trans respondents should take precedence over data requirements. Chris McGovern of the Campaign for Real Education said getting an accurate picture of gender was vital for both historians and the present government. We have capitulated to political correctness and we are no longer interested in hard data. We are more interested in protecting people's feelings. The ONS said it had yet to formulate its recommendations for the 2021 census, and any proposed changes will be set out in a government white paper. Parents should retain the fundamental freedom to raise their own children according to their beliefs, MPs and campaigners have said. They spoke out in a letter to the Telegraph over plans for compulsory relationships education in primary schools across England. Under current proposals, parents and guardians will not be allowed to take their children out of the lessons, and issues such as homosexuality and transsexualism may be covered. The Christian Institute's director Colin Hart was among the letter's signatories, which also included the Coalition for Marriage's Thomas Pascoe and a number of MPs. They are concerned that relationships education will be used to stigmatise traditional marriage and promote to children alternative lifestyles against parents' wishes. We demand that the forthcoming consultation on relationships education puts the rights of parents ahead of the power of the state. The Christian Union at Balliol College, Oxford was banned from its Freshers' Fair following an accusation that Christianity is used as an excuse for homophobia and neocolonialism. One of the organisers of the fair claimed that the presence of CU members would alienate some students. The move led to a backlash from Balliol students who called it a violation of free speech and religious freedom. The organisers eventually backed down and agreed to allow the CU to participate in the future. The Christian Institute's Simon Calvert said the suggestion that having contact with CU representatives could be harmful was ridiculous.
The idea that this little earnest group of Christian students at Balliol represented some kind of threat to the other students is as ridiculous as it is offensive. You've really got to ask yourself how these people can be so ignorant of the Christian faith, which has given us in this country so many rights and freedoms that countries around the world with no Christian heritage just don't have. And of course they were saying they were worried that having Christians at the Freshers' Fair would make other people not feel welcome. Well, how does that make Christians feel? It was ridiculous, and I'm just glad that the student body at Balliol, to their credit, has stood up for the Christian Union and its freedom of speech.
Balliol CU told the Christian Institute that the dispute had been settled amiably. And finally, a mother whose son was born before the abortion limit has won her campaign to get hospitals to provide suitable care for other very premature children. Emma Jones's son Riley was born in 2013 at just 22 weeks. Hospital staff made no attempt to help him even though he was breathing independently. He died after 93 minutes. Emma started a petition signed by more than 2,500 people, which led the Welsh Government to act. Following the case, new guidelines have been introduced to ensure medics provide care for babies born alive prior to 24 weeks and that families are involved in decision making. Emma said she is so glad the change will benefit other babies and that premature children deserve respect and dignity. She told her story to the BBC.
And we told him, our baby's alive here, and we were expecting them to take him from us and to take him to the neonatal unit to help him, to give him some medical assistance. But all we had was, first off, it was just reflex. They didn't even acknowledge him to be breathing or to be alive. Eventually, when the midwives buckled and rang paediatrics, but we were told that it was up to them because there was nothing to say that they had to come down and help this baby before 24 weeks. I will always believe that our son was strong enough to survive if he was given some assistance.
Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.